what's up, guys? It's your boy, Church of Caboose, and welcome to my corner of Das Internet. In this video, it's going to be the last little raid guide for the Deepstone Crypt. If you have any questions about how to do any of the encounters or any of the other challenges, check out my channel because I have a video up for all of them. But this video is going to be how to complete the 4-core challenge, which is the challenge for the raid boss in the Deepstone Crypt, Taniks the Abomination. This challenge is not very crazy hard and really is something we all already kind of knew, and it's now confirmed. You just do the 4-core strat. But before we get on into the guide, I want to remind everyone when I do these raid challenge videos, I do not teach the actual encounter very much. I assume you already know how to do it, so I'm not going to go over things like what suppressor is supposed to do, operator, and that sort of detail. So it's going to be how to do the challenge, as well as tips that I've learned over the last several weeks of doing the challenge without it actually, counting as the challenge. The last thing I want to ask you guys to do is to subscribe to my channel, like the video, share the video, and comment down below letting me know if this is helpful or not. So that'd be a great thing to do. And other ways to support the channel are also down below, but the best way is to subscribe to my channel. Alright, so let's go ahead and start going over the guide for how to complete the 4-core challenge. So for this challenge, it's just the 4-core ball strat, but there are a couple of things that can make this easier. So I'm going to give you guys the tips to make this easier, and we'll end the video with giving you guys how this actually works, and then I'll probably put the gameplay of the encounter I did at the end. For a couple of reasons. One of them is mostly because YouTube will suppress the crap out of videos if they don't hit certain time lengths, and so just keep that in mind. But also, for just in case someone hasn't actually done the 4-core strat, it might be helpful to be able to hear, if everything in my tech worked right, what is going on. So the tips I have for you guys, we got tips for suppressor, operator, and then a tip to make your lives easier. For a suppressor, I'd highly suggest just using Anarchy, because for the boss damage, you always want to have one divinity, and ideally, everyone else is running double slugs, preferably Heritage with Reconstruction, Recombination, and first in, last out with auto-loading Vorpal, and then Anarchy. So what makes the most sense is use that Anarchy for the suppressing, because the Anarchy round lasts long enough. If you put one round on the boss, he will then take damage for 2 of those bubbles, so you only need to use 2 rounds. And Anarchy, without any increase of reserves, holds enough rounds. You really don't need to have all 25, 26 rounds anyways, so it works out pretty well. And make sure you are doing your suppressor roll as fast as possible, because if you are slow, your poor teammates that are carrying the cores are going to most likely die, and that does not make this encounter any easier. Now for the operator roll, I highly suggest your operator be whoever is the divinity bitch. Whoever's using divinity really should be the operator, because they have the most range. If everyone else is using shotguns, they have to run and get pretty close to those different bubbles. Whereas Divinity, you can map across the map with Divinity, and it works vastly better and usually way quicker. So make sure your operator is also the Divinity person. And then lastly, I would suggest you guys to make sure you pick up this scanner roll. If you pick up the scanner roll when the augment gets deactivated, there's now 3 shots of what roll will get deactivated, and if it's scanner, it makes your lives a little bit easier if you have to do a 2-phase. And if it's one of the other augments, well, then you just put that augment into the terminal before a damage phase, and the same person picks it up afterwards. Because the last tip is that no one needs to be backup anything, because if you put the suppressor or the operator roll into the terminal before a damage phase, you can for sure pick it up afterwards, because the damage phase for the challenge or the 4-core strat is significantly longer. It's about 12 seconds longer. You get 3 little phases. You get bumped out twice instead of getting bumped out once, so the timing works out pretty well. The last little tip is speed is really everything. So if you have on low mobility, I would say anything below a 5 or 50 mobility stat, you want to bump that up. So you can do things like Powerful Friends and just throw in an arc mod, or an arc charge with light if it's not on the same armor piece, or just increase your mobility through armor stats or armor mods, because if you have high enough ability, it will be easier to get to those cores. Now let's go ahead and just talk about how does this whole strategy actually work. What do you actually need to do for the 4-core strat? For the 4-core strat, I highly suggest assigning people their roles. You want to assign who's the operator, you want to assign who's the scanner, and you want everyone to know what core they are running to. Now, can you call out what core you are going to as the encounter progresses? Absolutely. But since lots of folks have to LFG or just use LFG, it's usually more efficient and faster to assign those different number cores. So we already know that when we have this 4-core strat going, you need to take a core to every single bin the boss is not. So example, if the boss goes to orange, which traditionally by most groups is bins 5 and 6, then you know you need to have the cores brought to bins in the spawn area and the blue area, which is 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then if the boss goes to, say, the white area, then you'd have 3 through 6. If the boss goes to the blue area, it's 1, 2, 5, 6. And so having these different numbers of lowest number, second lowest, second highest, and highest number is usually the most efficient. So if someone claims the lowest number, that means they will always be bringing a core to 1 or 3, depending upon if the boss is on the spawn spot or on the 6th spot. Like, the only possible options for the lowest number are 1 and 3. The only possible options for the second lowest number are 2 and 4. The only possible options for the third highest number or second highest number is going to be 5 and 3, and then the highest number, the only options are going to be 4 and 6. So you kind of help yourselves out. You already know you've only got 2 options, and of course when a boss moves to one of the areas, especially if you have people that aren't quite as comfortable with this strategy, you could definitely call out things like highest is going to be 4, highest is 6, lowest is 1. Stuff like that will really help your team out, especially if folks aren't confident in what they are doing. Now, I really hope everyone's been doing this. We've kind of known this challenge is going to be a thing for a while. As best as I can tell, this is a really common strat, which is why this guide isn't super detailed and very lengthy. Now, if you need more of a guide, feel free to check out my video. I'll try to put a card right here about Taniks, because I do explain more of what the rules do, and I do recall I explained in more detail the 4-core strat as well as the 2-core, and so if you're not sure what to do with this encounter, I definitely recommend you watch this video before you go into doing the raid challenge, because you need to know how the encounter works before you can do the challenge. It's just easier that way. I appreciate you guys all so much for watching. The rest of this video is going to be just a playthrough. I'll probably speed it up a little bit of my party and I doing this challenge, and it actually works really well. As you probably will notice, is I had half ammo because my happy butt forgot to rally up, and we still one-phased the sucker, and so things can go wrong and it will still work pretty well. 4 core is what you will probably use most of the time anyways, and so it's not that much of a challenge, and it's really, really good to know. I appreciate you guys all so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Let me know down below if this was useful, as well as if you need a clan to help you get these challenges done. Consider joining the Vengeful Clan family. There's a link to our Discord down below. Once you join the Discord, we will get you all set up. We have clans for Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. I myself play on Steam and Xbox. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. I am Church of Caboose. Have a great week and happy grinding, y'all.
I can grab Lois.
I got highest.
I get second lowest.
I'll get second highest. Yep.
I heard a note. I heard a note.
Oh. He's not ready.
I'm ready.
Don't.
Someone fall. Don't worry.
Trap.
No, somebody went to the wrong spot. Somebody needs to take the core from me because I'm a stupid bitch. I'm going to one. Going to one, going to one, going to one.
Wait, look.
Anybody got a bubble? We have any time. We don't have any titans, do we? I got first well.
Alright. Oh! I guess I was too far forward.
He's still on final. And
Blue.
That's it, you guys. And I just got destroyed.
Bomb.
blue. Fucking dead.
Yeah. Alright, good one, guys. I'll see you. GG's.
But I'm gonna send the title. I'm done.
Am I only, did I really only get bequests from that? I'm gonna get grumpy.